All right, listen, thank you so much for joining us today. We've got a really interesting, I think, an important initiative to tell you about, and it pertains to information requests, IPRA requests to the city of Albuquerque. And for a lot of people, that may seem like a vague concept, but for individuals in our community who are interested in getting information about your government and how we work, and from an accountability standpoint, it's a very, very important issue. And as I stand here today, we're proud of a lot of things in this administration. We're proud that we were back-to-back perfect scores from the Sunshine Awards in 2011, 12, and 13. From a government transparency score standpoint on our website, that's good news for our community. We've had people in this very room from all over the world, literally from around the globe, talking to the administration about transparency measures and how to be the best you can be. We're proud of that. We're proud of the fact that we have been written up in national and international publications, including The Economist magazine, on our transparency efforts. We're proud of the fact that early in the administration we really pushed the envelope. If you think back, we posted salaries for employees. I put my credit card statement online. We did a lot of things to be able to communicate to our citizens that we serve that we care about transparency and we're trying to make a difference. With that said, we still fall short some days, and we want to get better. We want to make sure that that information is there for the people that need it. So today I'm joined by Natalie Howard, who is our City Clerk, who is right here. Peter Ames is our Chief Information Officer. You all know Jessica Hernandez, our City Attorney, and Rob Perry, our Chief Administrative Officer. Along with these folks, we've got some really smart people standing there behind the camera for some reason. We have Kathleen, is it One or Oni? Oni, who's our IPRA codification specialist. Brian Osterloh is our Associate Chief Information Officer. Brian, good to see you. Amber Terrasas is our Technology Application Specialist. I don't see Amber back there. Oh, there you are. Carrie Curley is our Records Center Supervisor, and Kevin Morrow is our Assistant City Attorney. So here's what we're doing. We, and I'll let Natalie explain it in more detail. We were on a quest to figure out how we could make it easier to make information requests, easier to track those information requests as a citizen, private citizen, or an entity, and we wanted to also track the process so that we could have a better accounting of what it costs. Near as we can figure today, it costs the taxpayer about $1.18 per page. We have somewhere between 55 and 120 requests per month, or per week at the city of Albuquerque. As you can imagine, a lot of those requests come out of APD. Some of those requests go to the rest of the 20 departments or thereabouts that we've got at the city of Albuquerque. So it's about transparency. It's about accountability. It's about measuring what we're doing so that we can manage it better. It's about automation, and we went out and we looked around the country for best practices. We think we found some to bring in, but what we did after that was we wanted to ramp up the city of Albuquerque so that we could stand before you today and tell you that we believe that this is the best of its kind in the country. We're doing things with this ABQ Records site that Natalie will run you through that no other city in America is doing. And we know that certainly in our region, we continue to be a leader. So it goes, and this is my last comment, I'll take questions later, but it really goes back to this idea that transparency is important, accountability is important, how you go about that is important, and even though we've had a lot of accolades to this point, we're not going to rest on our laurels, we're not going to sit on our hands. It's never going to be good enough. We're always going to keep pushing that envelope and trying to get better. Today's just the latest opportunity in our efforts to do that. I want to thank all of our professionals at the city of Albuquerque. We have, I'm not kidding, the best IT team in the country. We are in the top 10 digital cities in America, right up there with the likes of Boston and others. That is not an accident. That's very intentional. Our open data sets that we put out set the standard in a lot of ways around the country. So proud of my folks because they serve you. We all serve the community, but these folks, a lot of them will be here after I'm done being mayor, and then I know they'll still keep pushing the envelope. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Natalie Howard, who's going to give you some basics of what the website ABQ Records looks like, and then we'll be happy to answer some questions, and I've got all the smart people here to do just that for you. Natalie?
So one of the things that we found were that many people are asking us the same questions and they want the same data. And this portal will now enable us to actually figure out exactly what that data is and then be able to provide that to people so they don't even have to make a request in the first place. Right now, we accept requests on pieces of paper, napkins, phone calls. People will come in, we get emails. And so this will allow us to streamline our processes so that everything is going through this system. And if we do receive it on a piece of paper, we'll actually enter it into the system as well. But this is an easy way for us to communicate to all of our citizens and help them with the requests they need. We're going to be a lot more responsive and be able to keep our deadlines. So this is the ABQ Records portal. If you look further down, we're going to have some frequently asked or frequently requested records. And so people can go there for legislation, travel information, campaign finance reports, and also to our ABQ View site. But if none of that information, the information you want is not there, you can click on Request a Public Record, and that'll take you to our Next Request portal. When you get to that location, you can make a request. And what this will do is it requires you to fill out certain fields, and so that also helps with time. Sometimes we get requests that don't actually pinpoint exactly what they want, and so this will provide us a little bit more clarity on what the citizen wants, and then also require them to put in the fields that we need so that we can communicate with them. So we're really looking forward to this process. I think that it's going to provide a lot of consistency throughout the department. We have records custodians in every department, and as you go down, you can see the drop down. If you're not sure what department, you don't have to pick a department, or if you think it's multiple, you can choose a multiple department. We do have smart alerts as well. So if you're looking for a record that maybe the city doesn't keep, like birth certificates, we'll have a smart alert there that will tell you where to go. If it is something that we do keep and we have it on open data, we'll tell you that as well. So you may not even have to make a request. We might already have the information at your fingertips, but if not, we will respond to you through the system.
And this is that's great. Thank you.
You're
Stay there
welcome.
for a second.
Okay.
This is something that we've been working in-house to craft. We do have a vendor involved here. There's a $25,000 a year a subscription fee that we will pay to a host vendor that specializes this as well. So a lot of the work to build this was done in-house in conjunction with a couple of other examples around the country, and then we'll have a professional organization manage this for you as a taxpayer each and every year. Peter, do you want to add anything on this?
I would just mention, Mayor, that this is a continuation of the digitization of city services that we're providing to our citizens, providing that that online service to all of our built services. I mean, as you can imagine, as a city, we've got 19 departments delivering hundreds of city services, and we really want to be able to provide an online component for everything that we do so that we can really say that we are providing that for our citizens and our constituents to be able to interact and work with City Hall.
So with that, we'll take any questions you might have and see if we can get them answered.
Why does it cost $25,000 a year?
Sure.
Is a private vendor is involved? Or?
Yes, it's called Next Request, and they actually came out of Code for America. And so we pay a subscription fee, but that does include any kind of changes we may want to the system.
But we customized the system. We didn't take a system off the rack. We built this specifically for the city of Albuquerque. There are things that you will be able to see. There'll be dashboard information on the number of requests we get, the cost of producing those requests. So there'll be a lot of good information, both from our standpoint as an administration, but both from a public standpoint on what this costs. As you can imagine, it's not an inexpensive thing to do well, and so we want to make sure that we're tracking that so that we can put the resources where they need to go. So even though 97% of our requests get fulfilled, that's great. Let's get to 100 if we can. And then if there's a situation where where there's a failure, because I know one instance since I've been the mayor where something just got stuck on the bottom of a stack of paper on somebody's desk. Well, if there's a better tracking mechanism on that from the department standpoint, then we don't get in a situation where somebody thinks that we're trying to keep something when in fact it was just a human error. It just helps automate the system.
And the public can still submit requests by email or verbally? That kind of thing?
Yes.
we're not narrowing the public's option at all. We are just going to enter it, we'd like people, it'd save you tax dollars if you could go in and do the work yourself to put your name and your email in there. But if it ends up being a phone call or on the back of a napkin, we still take it, but then we're going to have to pay staff to put it in, but it will get put in. So we're not narrowing anybody's opportunity here.